I'm Ethan. Oh.
All right, we're gonna run that back again.
Okay.
All right, welcome back, Lakers. I'm your host, Derek. We have a lot of wonderful Overwatch tonight. We're gonna be watching the white team play tonight. Here's my other host.
I'm Ethan. I'm excited to see this. We're gonna start off on Esperanza on push. So hopefully we'll see some. Because I remember last week White did very well on their matches. So hopefully we'll see more of that. So just getting words that they are changing off of Esperanza to Samoa. So more control instead of push.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad that it's not Lijiang Tower. I love Lijiang, but I feel like we've had it every single time as the opening match, so it's nice to see a little bit of diversity in the maps.
I think it has been every single time that has been Lijiang Tower, so I'm happy to see some other control map. So I think Samoa is going to be a fun one to watch, because Samoa, I do like Samoa as a map. It is kind of fun to play. There's not too many ledges, except maybe on the, I don't know the names of them.
There's like the volcano one that has like the lava pit on it. Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't ban Lucio again this week, because it feels like they always ban Lucio on control.
Well, Lucio is a very good just support in general, though. So I will say.
Yeah, at least now they're in the point of the game. There's other speed support, so now they can run Juno for speed, and then Wu Ying's just good in general. He doesn't have speed, but at least there's other options. For the longest time, it was Lucio or no speed at all if you didn't have Lucio. So at least they'll probably have something. I think they can only ban one of the supports, so it's not like they can have no speed at all.
So we'll see when they get into the game. It seems like we have GVSU. The coach Felix Pigeon is subbing out for someone on the team, so we might see some. He plays I think he plays DPS, or like the last time he did sub out, he played DPS, I think. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, so we had some people in the chat asking about if we'll see Genji. I always love talking about Genji, you know me, so I really hope we do see some Genji tonight. I believe it was White that had the God Genji player last time. Is there White or Black? One of them was really good on Genji.
Yeah. We'll see.
So hoping they can do another 3-0. I don't want it too fast. I'd like a little bit more of a game for us to talk about, but last time they ran pretty well.
Hopefully we'll see some echo from A-Tree. I feel like that's something that everyone always wants to see, and just hopefully. Can we A-Tree play Venture? I don't know. That would also be fun to watch. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, Venture is a little quirky, as they say.
Venture I don't like going against, and I'm not great with them. I'm not great with playing Venture. It's tough.
I feel like they've been out for a while, and I still just need to get it more time, because every time I play them, I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and there's like a specific combo that you need to go into it.
I think it's the range of the primary is just not very far, and it always mixes me up. I just have like bad depth perception when it comes to that specifically. So all right, we're going into the game now. It's going to be on Samoa on control. I don't know the names of the points on this, though.
Yeah, I know that for most maps. I think the fire one might be Volcano. I think this one might be Beach. And I don't know the third one.
It looks like a beach.
It is a beach, so I'm just going to call it Beach from now on. But I'm pretty sure. I'm like 85% sure that this is Beach.
We'll see. I think. I wonder who they banned. Well, hopefully. I wonder if we'll get that. Or who do you think they would ban here?
Ooh, well,
not Lucio, obviously.
Yeah, it looks like we have Lucio on the field now. We got, Zarya. They're rotating between Zarya and Orisa between the two different teams. No Malga. This is Malga's home map, I believe.
Everyone feeling warmed up?
I guess not.
On GVSU, we have Sojourn, Symmetra, Orisa, Lucio, and a Wu Yang. It's a pretty mixed composition here. We'll see how that works.
I think they might teleport from spawn and switch, but we'll see if they keep the Symmetra. Might be doing it for the little
teleporting there.
And a little speed.
Leaving the Orisa behind, but that's all right.
Yeah, if they are switching, A-Tree is going to be on the Genji, like we talked about.
So they did the Symmetra teleport and then immediately swap. Wow.
Yeah, they just wanted the team to get that little bit of a distance boost from spawn. But I'm glad to see they went right back to Genji, as they should be. Got a little bit poke at the choke here, trying to build up some ultimate charge from Grand Valley.
UMU running Bastion, Sojourn, Zarya, Lucio, and BAP. So decently big hit scan team here, except for the exceptions of Lucio and Zarya.
Yeah, I feel like both teams are both poking, prodding, see if they can get a pick. Like this fight just seems like it's going on forever and no one's dying. As I say that, someone dies. The caster curse strikes again.
Sojourn taking one onto landing one onto UMU. Just hopefully can use the advantage there to push up here, which it looks like that's what they're doing. Zarya almost down, falls to the Orisa.
Grand Valley gets those few picks and caps.
Yeah, Grand Valley able to get the point back from UMU at 22%. So hopefully that now Grand Valley has control. Hopefully they can hold and keep it there.
Yeah, not gonna lie, for a second I almost read the kill feed wrong because Grand Valley was the red team when they're normally the blue team. At least that's the school color, so it tripped me up for just a second there.
UMU trying to push back here. Wu Yang ult comes out from Grand Valley. Lands one onto the Sojourn.
Yeah, we get the Wu Yang ult used to kill the Sojourn, which, you know, we take those picks. A 1k from an ult is always worth it.
Well, obviously Wu Yang's ult not really made the land kills, but it does stun and do a little bit of damage. So Genji with their blade ready, hopefully see a big play from them. Yeah. So Grand Valley does succeed in pushing UMU back to their spawn.
Yeah, now Grand Valley's getting a little bit of an ult advantage here. They're gonna be holding on their ults. I feel like they don't need to use them at all but Wu Yang, so when they feel pressured, they can just pop 2 or 3 and try to clean up with that.
Are slowly ticking up at 63% now. The blade does come out from the Genji, landing 2 on the Bastion. I think that might have actually been the Immortality Field, but they do just win that fight there. The Sojourn going to point, trying to just sneak around, but Grand Valley does catch them there and get that team kill.
Yeah, that's pretty big from Grand Valley. They're able to win that fight only using the blade, so they still have 3 other ultimates, so they weren't too greedy there. They just used one, able to secure the fight there. Now they're setting up for the next engagement, but Lucio is diving in a little bit early.
Lucio just trying to get the point to overtime there, maybe. So that like plan. The Lucio ult on GVSU goes off, just helping everyone survive. Genji is low right now. The Wu Yang goes down, but Sojourn gets a 4K from their ultimate there. So very impressive from GVSU Sojourn, landing the win for GVSU on the first point.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think Umu had a little bit of a misplay with that Lucio. I feel like it was only at 90%, so they could have just stayed with their team and boosted them in. So I believe it's the last 3 seconds you can touch early for it to trigger overtime, so they still had a good amount of time.
There was a good amount of time. They had about like 10% left, and they could have maybe made it, but you know, anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how this next match goes. This is the volcano one, I think.
Yeah, this is the fun one.
UMU swapping from Sojourn to Cast. They just can't keep up with GVSU Sojourn from the looks of it.
Yeah, I believe that's the only counter pick. I think Grand Valley didn't make any changes themselves. They feel fairly confident to run it back and just pick up the W here.
GVSU Lucio already almost on point, but with the rest of the team. Both are just kind of trying to keep their distance. UMU is just kind of letting Grand Valley take a point here, though.
Yeah, they feel like they can just give them the presence. It still has a few seconds before the point unlocks, but once Grand Valley gets positioned on point, it's going to be harder to engage onto them.
See, though, because UMU able to just get some damage off onto the Grand Valley team, but Grand Valley just has a good amount of mobility just to get away and take some cover. So
Atreus here looking for a pick. They're diving in. Get flashed. They have to bail out with 7 HP. They're just going to have to sit in the corner for a little bit and wait for the next fight.
Orisa almost down there, but obviously just able to walk around the corner and stay alive. UMU just struggling to push up here.
Yeah, this is quite the wall they built up. It'd be rather difficult for UMU to break through it. Grand Valley just pushing up to choke. I feel like this will be kind of difficult. Orisa's, you know, she feels like a brick wall, so she really just punishes tanks especially, so it's harder to get down to that.
Obviously, so UMU landing some picks onto Grand Valley. Grand Valley has to kind of fall back here. It's just the Genji. It looks like they're the only one here. And the Wu Yang up there in the corner, it looks like.
Yep, so it's going to build some ultimate charge and buy their time for the next fight. Get a cell regroup.
Able to take point there. Now they just have to hold back Grand Valley's push. Looks like Grand Valley is pushing from the high ground, so we'll see how that goes with them. The Grand Valley Lucio ult does go off.
Yeah, they got a lot of ultimates this fight. Let's see if they can make it worth that investment.
Looks like the Zarya on UMU just taking out 2 of them, the Sojourn and the Orisa. Genji just not able to do much in there. Takes out the blade. We'll see if they can get point back here.
They're going for this hero blade, seeing if they can make a difference. It was just them and one other teammate, but I guess they can do it. It's worth the flip.
So yeah, Genji and the 2 supports just took back point there. See if UMU can respond to that. Obviously, UMU now does kind of have ultimate advantage here with Bastion, Cass, and coming up on the Zarya ult. Well, GVSU only really is coming up on the Orisa, but they do have the Wu Yang ult as well.
That's an early pick onto Atri. They're going to miss that Genji. I wonder if UMU is going to engage with this Bastion, or if they're just going to save it. I feel like it looks like they're just going to push in with the Lucio and try to push the advantage while they have it.
The Wu Yang ult on the Sojourn just to keep them alive. Wasn't able to capitalize on the stun from it too much, though. Sojourn landing one on the cast there. Kind of a close fight there. Got them down to 65.
Yeah, they got that 1v1. They said, I win these.
UMU just took point from Grand Valley there, just pushing them back. We'll see how Grand Valley can try and take it back. Orisa just eating up the Zarya beam there. Obviously, Orisa's shield now blocks the Zarya beam, which is nice. Able to land one on the Zarya there.
Yeah, they're looking for this Terror Surge. I can feel it. I guess they don't feel the need to use it, but they can be aggressive with it. I think it's quite interesting how they've added perks, including in custom games. So now they can do the ability swap for the shield, which in some cases I feel like the spin is better, but here the shield is so big because the Zarya can pierce it like she can with the spin.
And obviously the Javelin's really good when you're going against teams you can obviously cancel their ult. Not seen too many of those on UMU, except for say I'd say the cast maybe. That window goes up there. Zarya also goes up, lands one on the Orisa there.
Yeah, they get grabbed, and unfortunately they did not have their Fortify on cooldown, otherwise they probably could have walked there.
The Lucio beat does go off, but it seems to have worn off there, and just GVSU struggling to hold point here, but they're at 99%. If they can just win this one fight, they would be able to get it.
Atrius getting some picks, gonna go in for the blade again. Let's see if they can make something happen. Try and get the Zarya, but they're getting all the heals in the world, but it doesn't matter. They win this fight and win the game.
Yeah, at the end there, UMU is putting on pressure for GVSU, but GVSU able to just keep them back. So it was a fun match to watch, obviously, just with the aggressiveness of the UMU team and how they kind of adapted to the Grand Valley strategy, obviously.
Yeah, I'm always happy, like I said earlier, when we get to see Genji, so I'm glad they didn't have to make any switches and just kept rolling with it.
So the Sojourn on Grand Valley played really well. You saw in the play of the game there, that was the 4K with the ult, I think, which was very impressive from Sojourn. Obviously, Sojourn, very powerful if you can aim, so they do a lot of damage. And
I felt like they were able to get some really solid kills on the flanks, too. I noticed in the middle of that, in that second round of Volcano, we saw them win the 1v1 on the cast, so they were able to clutch up when they needed to as well, even when they were by themselves.
Yeah, it seems like the Genji had very good survivability on that one, too, so I think Genji was a good play, especially against that team, because obviously with the survivability there, just staying on point while like the rest of your team has to come back, it's very needed. Yeah,
and that perk for Orisa with the shield was huge. Normally, some people think Zarya is really good into Orisa, but they were able to make it work. Also, Zarya is really good against Genji, so Grand Valley kind of playing against their counters a little bit, but they're able to still make it work. Doesn't matter.
I do think that I feel like Zarya is less of a counter to Orisa, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think some people think it because they just think the spin.
The javelin spin. Yeah,
it's definitely way more for Genji.
Definitely for Genji with the deflect. Did we ever figure out the bans? No, we did not figure out the bans. But who do you think was banned? That's what I want to know. I wonder who was banned there. Who did we not see?
I feel like if it wasn't Lucio, maybe it was the tank.
Obviously, it wasn't Zarya. It could have been Roadhog. I know Roadhog's been kind of a kind of a ban.
Yeah, it could be
lately.
Roadhog. It could be maybe be Malga. Yeah,
I don't know.
that's kind
Reaper
of.
Kiri says Atri, so I agree that, yeah. So Reaper and Kiri were banned. That's kind of interesting though. I mean, maybe Kiriko, obviously Kiriko's rush is obviously very powerful. And then the Suzu is also a really powerful just ability to have.
Yep, that makes sense. I feel like Kiri, basically since she's been in Overwatch 2, she's never been bad. There's been points where she wasn't the best, but there's never been a single point to where she was unusable. So she's almost always a solid must pick. So it's great to see some other supports get to be played.
Yeah, and then I wonder why Reaper was banned there. That's kind of an interesting pick.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen in pro play he's been getting used a lot more too. He had a perk that makes his teleport shorter but way faster. So a lot of people in pro play have been using that to teleport in the backline rather quickly and get a flanking kill. So maybe that's why. He's also very good into rush comps, and we feel like a lot of these teams like playing rush comps, especially on control.
Definitely. Let's see. Wonder what the so it usually goes from I'm trying to remember if it usually goes from what is it? Control to push, do we think?
I believe it's push.
So we'll see. So we just got word that's control, push to flashpoint. We'll see if that's right.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think
that's
I think last
current
week
guess.
they picked Esperanza. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So we'll see. Maybe they'll run over that. We hear they're considering Junkertown. That's one I feel like we haven't seen much of. I played that earlier today. It's a really nice close quarters map, especially on the first point there.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Junkertown, to be honest. That's or wait, so Junkertown is the flashpoint one.
Oh no, wait. I was thinking New Junk City for a second.
Junk City
Yeah,
is flashpoint.
yeah.
So.
Junkertown is the. Never mind. I don't like Junkertown nearly as much. I retract my statement. It is escort and it is a sniper's paradise, especially for first point. I was thinking New Junk when I said it's overhated.
I'm not a big fan of New Junk City, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of the flashpoint in general, but I do find Cervasa can be somewhat fun. But
yeah, I feel like for me, well, there's not many flashpoints. I think it's my favorite flashpoint. I still don't know how to feel about Atlas because it's still kind of new. So I feel like some days I really like it, some days I don't.
We'll see what they choose next. Though I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be push. I think it's got to be push. Right?
Yeah, at least we haven't had any Clash. I feel like Clash is currently the most hated mode.
I'm fine with Clash. I think Clash is a lot of fun, but yeah, it might not even be. Like, we haven't seen it at all in these competitions, so we'll see. I don't think it is involved though.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure because most of the ones we covered were 3-0, so I wasn't sure if it was a later game mode that was picked and we just never saw it.
Yeah, we'll see if this game goes all the way up to game 5, they might go through every game mode. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I feel like there's not that many Clash maps. So there's Throne of Anubis. There's I'm trying to think what else there is. There's Hanaoka.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a third one, but it's not coming to mind.
I'm trying to remember as well. I don't really remember. Yeah, I really only see Throne of Anubis and Hanaoka. So.
And maybe there's not a third one. Maybe I'm just imagining it because I can't remember it anyways.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
I feel like maybe if people like it more with time, there's been a lot of them that people hate, and then you give it a year or two, and then people say, "Oh, I love this one because you played so much."
I pretty much like Clash. I like this having to. It's a lot more fun to just like push up with more and more pressure. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like people kind of have to get to learn it. It's the same thing with I'm blanking on the one that Cervasa is.
Flashpoint.
That's for Flashpoint because sometimes when you rotate, when it first came out, you still see it a little bit today, but in between points they'll just like stagger or wander around because the map is so large, and then it'll just kind of die off. So I feel like people might have to, maybe learn and get good, as they say, and adapt to the map.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Flashpoint. It's not too fun for me, but I just think the map is kind of too big. It's kind of just what you said.
That's what I feel like, especially it feels like there's lots of wandering in between fights. And I feel like at least when I play ranked, it's different in constructed play. But you get like someone who just wanders off or someone who gets staggered, and then sometimes it's on the enemy team. It's nice, but you just have people randomly get picked off, and then And once you get staggered in Overwatch, it's the worst feeling because you never get a true 5v5, and then you just always are on the back pedal the whole time.
So, yeah. So, the challenge week is up this week. I think it is like best reaction. So, if you have any like clips with your microphone and with your or like face cam, that would be really good to put into the GVSU Discord because it could be featured on the challenge week.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those recent indie games would be really good at whether Peak or well, Lethal Company is a little bit aged. Well, I hate saying it's age; it's just like a year or two now. But Lethal Company or Repo. I was also thinking of Repo as well. That one is also really good for reaction. So
I do think a lot of those games where you just like with your friends, you just go into that. I think I have like a couple clips. You know the one that's like content warning where you go down and like film the video. Yep. That one's a lot of fun. I like playing that one with friends because it's always like it always ends up being really stupid. And then just getting to watch like the video that it makes afterwards is always so fun.
Atri in the chat saying they're not a Torb player. I'd say maybe you should consider being a Torb player. I was running Torb, but I feel like he's kind of underrated with his tier 3 perks. You get the level 3 turret, or my favorite is the one that you have a longer range. You can stick on walls because it's such a pain for enemies to turn around into. I feel like Torb gets slept on a little bit.
Torbjorn is being added to Stadium next season, I think.
I saw that.
I think it's going to be really fun just because he's probably have so many powers with his hammer. So I'm really excited for just the melee Torb.
Yeah, there's going to be probably a melee build. There's going to be a turret build. Most likely will be OP, and they'll have to nerf it.
I saw in the trailer that he could have up to like 3 tier 3 turrets at once.
Yeah.
So that seems like a bit powerful.
Yeah, I saw the dev update too. They have so many cool things. I believe it's this upcoming Tuesday, so rather quickly for the patch. It's going to be Halloween themed for the start of the season, and they're going to have the Halloween event where you can wear a different character's mask and kind of like absorb one of their abilities.
I think they're kind of like doing like team up sort of things too. So
so that'll be
different characters. We'll see how that works. I wonder if that'll become like an actual thing in the game. So,
let's think of favorite Overwatch Halloween events.
I have to say this: I didn't play like last year, so it's I can't say what the Halloween events are like. So
yeah, I was gonna say for me, I'm gonna have the nostalgia goggles and say the first one, just because when it came out, I think Overwatch it originally launched in like May or June, so it was in the summer. But and they did Lucio Ball, but this was like the first like actual PvE. It's still just with bots. But it felt like something completely different at the time, and it's really special. And they had the one, is either the last year or the year before, to where you had like special enemies. And there was I remember me and my friends had a joke about the unkillable ghost, who was Sigma near the end of it. Oh no, that was the year before. The one last year was really good. It was like a baby version of Stadium, where you just had like powers in between different rounds you could pick from.
Again, I don't have like a favorite event so far because I haven't really played during any events. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're getting into the game soon here. Right now, actually. And it looks like we are on
Junkertown.
Escort. So I was not expecting the Escort here. But we'll see how this goes. Obviously, Junkertown filled with disassembled robots.
Yeah, some Omnics. I believe this is where it's not quite the same, but this is roughly in the cinematic for Junker Queen where it takes place. If you look at it in the cinematic, it takes place there, but it's the proportions are off a little bit. They're not quite 1-to-1, but it's roughly in this area. So some fun lore. If any of you haven't seen the Junker Queen cinematic, highly recommend it.
So GVSU running, looks like they swapped to Widow here, and the Torbjorn Atri, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously a Torbjorn main Atri is, so we'll see. And Tank running Junker Queen to get that home field advantage.
Yeah, it's the Australian buff.
Lucio and Kiriko. UMU running Sigma, Kiriko, Ana, Cass, and Bastion, so their DPS aren't really changing, but their supports and tanks changing.
Yeah,
Holy
Sigma
shit.
historically one of the best tanks on this map because he's always about range and poke. Atri dies right at the start though. Sometimes you get picked off in a ranged map like this. It happens.
Talking to Freya from Widowmaker, and maybe not able to land any with Widow.
Yeah, the Sigma's gonna be rather annoying for Widow if he's always having his shield in her face. So which makes sense here. It looks like they're gonna just aggress on the point a little bit.
Barely able to make it away with any health remaining. Has to heal up here. Freya goes down to the Ana. Ana able to pick off just anyone on GVSU teams, it looks like.
Grand Valley's going against a very heavy poke comp, so since they're playing a more dive or rush style, they might have to go around the side, maybe have Genji go on a flank here and then create some angles because they don't have the shield, so they're going to get free fired on by UMU.
Junker Queen is struggling to push up here without taking loads of damage. Sigma is obviously very good on defense here. Junker Queen almost goes down there, down to like 80 health, but obviously the tower takes him back up. They fall to the Sigma boulder.
Yeah, I like that they're looking for some knife hooks here. It'd be huge to get the Bastion up high ground because he has no mobility, so once they hook him off, they can kind of collapse on them.
Genji just hiding in this corner while the entire team of UMU is just out there. Might be trying to go for a back cut here.
Yeah.
Never mind, they're just going straight into the whole team.
Do they
See
know
how that goes?
Looks like they're able to regroup. I thought they might honestly die, but they had the Kiri teleport and the whole team diving to assist them.
See, that obviously trying to just like take out any one of the UMU team members, but it's just UMU is just keeping every one of them alive. So it's
yeah. At least
to get anything there.
At least Grand Valley's getting some valuable space, so they're still making Halo progress during this fight. So at some point, UMU is going to have to play on the objective and cap otherwise.
UMU Cass lands one on the Lucio there. Cass getting a 3K there, one on the Lucio, one on the Kiriko, and then one on the Genji. GVSU swapping to Ramatra. Obviously, Ramatra can go through Sigma Shield and his kinetic grasp with his punches. So to see if UMU can even let GVSU get that close and even do that.
Yeah, I'm looking for this blade from A-Tree. It's about to come online. There it is. Are they going to go for the hero blade? Get a Lucio beat to engage, so Grand Valley's going to dive in.
Unfortunately, did not hit the Ramatra, so Ramatra still has to kind of regroup there.
There's the blade from A-Tree. Let's see if they can make it work. They swing one, they get the Kiriko, they go back for the Sigma, they get two.
Cass landing their Deadeye onto... Cass getting a 2K Deadeye onto GVSU.
Yeah, A-Tree's better. They get the deflect headshot kill onto that Cass, and they're able to secure that fight win, so that's going to be .1 for Grand Valley.
UMU obviously holding really well here, though, so we'll see if they can keep that performance up and actually try and keep Grand Valley out of the next checkpoint. Yeah, Grand Valley obviously making some swaps and actually able to, and getting those picks is actually vital because UMU is just keeping each other alive here. They're all in that one group.
Yeah, Grand Valley still has this Freya ult. I want to see if they can get an interesting pick. They have to watch to make sure it doesn't get eaten by the Sigma.
Obviously, Sigma is kind of a good counter to all projectiles. Freya ult goes off, lands one onto the Kiriko in the pass, and then Ramatra landing one onto the Bastion there, but just after Bastion gets the Genji with the grenade.
That's a little too late from UMU. Grand Valley gets those picks in early and put them on the back foot.
Not really sent one person back to point, but there was a bit there where they didn't have anyone on point, so maybe they were just pushing up a bit too far there.
Yeah, it looks like UMU might not be able to touch this. Lucio looking for a boop to knock them back so they can't contest, but it looks like they're going to go underground through the tunnel.
Looks like UMU just not able to get to the point before Grand Valley can make it, though. UMU just trying to just hold here. They aren't really contesting point like you said earlier.
Yeah, they need to probably regroup and stabilize here because they're doing a lot of poke damage, but they're not getting the kills or cart pressure, so they're just always on the back foot here.
See how it goes for UMU. Obviously, the rush looks like it goes out. Ramatra slept while in his Ravager form. He still got his ult though.
Yeah, they got cleansed luckily. They're waiting for the right moment. They don't want to use it and immediately die, but they feel like they don't need to. It looks like they're just getting so much free space and they're able to keep pushing. They only are going to have 1 to 2 fights at this point if they don't touch.
UMU does have a lot of their ults right now. Obviously, Sigma probably waiting for that Ramatra ult to come out so he could use his.
Oh, yeah, he's probably waiting to counter it. It's the game of chicken. Let's see who goes first.
Lucio with his ult. UMU with the Cass ult as well. Cass combined with the Sigma one works really well. Cass is nanoed by by the Ana, just unable to do anything there. It goes down to the Ramattra.
Yeah, they tried to stabilize there, but they had so much damage on even the nano damage resistance wasn't enough to save them. And they still have Blade here. Look, they're looking to watch the sides. Yep, there it is. But it won't be fast enough. They can't even touch.
So UMU with a pretty respectable hold on the first point, they just can't hold on to point there.
Yeah, I feel like they're doing rather well, and then they crumbled point 2 and 3. That almost 2.5 minutes for third points. A lot of people don't finish third point in overtime. This is going to be a massive task if UMU wants to turn this around.
So we'll see how well UMU does here. They can hopefully push the point to the end so we get more of this game here. But we'll see. Yeah, because if UMU does make it to the end, GVSU does have a lot of time to keep pushing that cart in the next round. So, let's see.
Yeah. So, Grand Valley playing with some creative comps here. They're thinking about maybe doing the venture.
Sticking with Freya though, swapping to Ana as well.
Yeah, Poke's always really solid for first point here. Venture has. They're kind of weird. They have a bit of a hybrid approach. So they have some medium poke damage, and then they also have a lot of close range combos and mobility.
UMU running Soldier, Cass, Sigma, Ana, Lucio. Only change here is the Soldier, which is an interesting play.
Oh, is that a Widow swap I see?
Widow. We'll see how that goes for him.
Yeah, and it'll be the classic guys. I'll get one pick, if not, I'll switch and spawn.
I think they played very well as Cass last time, so we'll see.
Entry he was on the side looking for some sneaky damage.
In the back, they're able to get one on that Ana there. Ana unable to do much with no mobility, but the Venture does fall to the Widow, so we'll see if they stick onto Widow now.
I saw that 1 second left on that cooldown, Atria. I saw you look up the sky. Been there before. It all happens to us. Okay, looks like Grand Valley's still going to get some picks, though.
GVSU still running the Ramattra. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, UMU still running the Sigma. Sigma, I feel like, is more of a defense-focused hero, so we'll see how well he works on trying to escort.
Yeah, he's probably going to have to sit near the card and just constantly have shield over to block for his team, especially even though he is high ground control there. He needs to be the one touching, because if not, Grand Valley can just free fire on Sigma.
Lucio unable to save the Venture there. Unable to save their Ana either. That's a terrible feeling to watch those two just go down. Well, you have your speed boost up.
Ooh.
Drops the mic, even though they did just kind of...
Yeah, maybe it's symbolism. Maybe they're saying they dropped
that
that mic. So they dropped that round, so
but
they're going to
UMU
regroup.
Pushing up here, almost to the checkpoint here. Ramattra goes down to the Sigma. We're anti-healed, which makes it very difficult for them to survive there.
Ramattra got vaporized instantly. Grand Valley's going to have to rotate carefully. It's right there, so they have to constantly keep someone on point here to contest. If not, they instantly lose.
Does happen there, so Grand Valley lands one on UMU Lucio.
Yeah, now Grand Valley just looking to stall. They want to rotate who's on point. They have a lot of mobility, so they can keep juggling off and on. And they're getting the picks too, so unless they get back up, they might stabilize here.
Venture landing one onto the UMU Lucio. Ana taking out the Sigma. I feel like the Sigma's kind of holding the UMU team together here, just able to keep everyone alive. I think as soon as the Sigma's kind of like, as soon as he falls, everyone else kind of crumbles. But then obviously, if your supports also fall, like Sigma starts to crumble.
That was a rather crazy flip from Grand Valley. They were contesting that whole time, just a few meters before points.
Yeah, that was very impressive with Grand Valley to do that. We'll see. Ramattra nano boosted out here.
Yeah,
losing so much health though. All being healed back. Unfortunately, he's not able to withstand all that.
Yeah, that payload was still sitting there, so they had to just babysit it the whole time.
And UMU made it to the checkpoint. Very impressive play from UMU. Able to kind of bulldoze through that first point there.
All right, Grand Valley's gonna have to stabilize here. They're gonna have to regroup, see if they can get some picks. Maybe they can rotate to high ground. They don't want to give it over to UMU here. This second point high ground is so important, especially for that first bender on that corner.
Venture just going back to the back line. You might see the Venture all happen here. Freya in the air, just kind of catching the Venture off guard there.
Yeah, they're both trying to get some off angles, get some attention split from their team.
GVSU with a heavy ult advantage, though. So we'll see how well that goes. They Venture pops their ult, then gets slept, and then hit by the Sigma rock. So that's unfortunate for GVSU Venture.
Yeah, they're looking for this Sojourn ult. I can feel it, but they're low HP. They don't want to use it immediately, have it wasted. But they're getting staggered pretty hard here.
Ramatra having trouble there, slept and then the stagger from the rock. It is a tough luck for that Ramatra.
Yeah, it looks like Grand Valley's gonna opt to just give them the point and, you know, come back, lick their wounds, and try to stabilize from this last fight.
They still do have, actually, UMU actually has ult advantage here, basically. So they have Nano, Freya, Soldier, and the Sigma one now, while GVSU only has the Lucio, Ramatra, and Sojourn. So they are kind of coming up on the Kiriko rush still.
And I want to see Grand Valley. It's okay to use ults to stabilize. I want to see them just engage with beat, but they might be saving for this flux. And it looks like that's exactly the case.
Lucio beat on Grand Valley goes off, unable to save the Ramatra. It seems like UMU is just taking at their advantage now that the tank is gone, so they're just pushing up. Sojourn landing one on the Soldier there. Activating their ult. We'll see if they can land their shots on that Ana, but just unable to hit them.
Yeah, this Sigma is such a problem. I feel like they're just living constantly in the front. They're doing so much damage and so much shielding, and they're getting away with everything.
It goes down to the Kiriko. Ramatra almost dead, having to activate their ability to stay alive. They go to sleep there. Just taking so much damage from the UMU team. Supports have their job there for them.
Yeah, I feel like this feels like a bit of like Overwatch 1. He just gets every ability cooldown on the Ramatra, and the game used on him, but he's going to be aggressive here, going with his ult, trying to buy some space for Grand Valley, push in and get some kills.
Yeah. Didn't last too long there. It's just UMU all backed away when they heard that Ramatra and Kiriko rush. So, obviously, Ramatra's ult lasts longer when there's more people within it, so it's tough when people just run away like that.
Well, you know what? It definitely zoned them out, though. I'll give them that. May not have gotten all the kills, but, you know, sometimes zoning ults are important and aren't just a meme.
Now, Grand Valley has held them back to past their time, so.
Yeah, so they're making good progress here. They already in the advantage, even if they lose all these fights, but I don't think they will. I think they're starting to stabilize.
We had an Ashe swap on Grand Valley. Seems like they are having trouble against the Sigma, though. That Sigma does want that Ashe dead.
And he's on the side. They're going to have to do something about this.
Ramatra goes down to the Sigma.
Yeah, this Sigma is in their walls. He's
Venture ulting here, just trying to keep him off point. Just trying to stall a bit. Other team gets back. Just taking so much damage from the UMU team. Sigma ult goes out right at the end as they get there.
Yeah, they wanted to save that ult so they couldn't contest. And it looks like we're going to be going into the next round. Neither team won. Grand Valley has a little bit more time here, but it's still rather close, all things considered.
So we'll see how well they do on this first point, because I do think Grand Valley was a bit slower on the first point than UMU was, because UMU kind of bulldozed through their first attack. So I think that's what really that first point is really going to make or break this next push.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe some possible changes. I feel like this Sigma is just getting away with so much. I'd like to maybe consider Grand Valley's feeling it, maybe even a counter Sigma. He's just so good, especially on first point. He's usually one of the best tanks in the game for first point.
GVSU swap into, oh, they are taking your word for it, the counter Sigma.
Yeah, see,
they're also doing Reaper and May just to probably hold them back a little bit.
See, they knew it. They're stream sniping me. They knew it was. They heard me say it, and they knew they're gonna pick to it.
So I actually, funny story on this. I actually was playing Sigma on defense on this. Other team had a Sigma. We basically did the exact same thing at the exact same time. So we both kinetic grasped at the same time. We both threw a rock at the same time. It's just a lot of fun.
Whereas Grand Valley, they might go for the spawn camp. They have Reaper May, which is extremely close range. They may try to just sit in their spawn and not give them any percentage since they're going to try to hold first point.
Yeah, trying to just keep UMU from pushing.
I was like, it's not the spawn camp, but they're still probably going to try to hold them rather close. At least that's what Reaper May would normally entail.
Grand Valley kind of trying to take the UMU strategy, just sticking to the high ground with the Sigma, like they did on the first round.
Yeah,
almost dead there, down to like 30 health, I think. Or just not able to land one. Obviously, May goes through the Sigma Vortex. It's tough for the UMU Sigma.
Yeah, the Reaper just kind of sat there. I feel like they might need to try to poke out the Reaper if they want to get some progress, because he's usually the one here around this corner contesting, but now Reaper is going in for a flank. Let's see who he tries to dive onto. Their Sigma's anti and low. They got to collapse on the Sigma if they want to get the victory here.
Obviously, May just able to stay alive for a long period of time. We'll see how well they're treated after they get out of that round.
They are playing a rather slow and stally spray on the payload for good luck while they're reloading. May as well.
Obviously, this Grand Valley just needs to take out that Sigma. That seems what they tried to swap to do. Like they just, as soon as that Sigma, Sigma crumbles, the UMU team kind of falls. UMU taking what Grand Valley did last round and swapping for a mantra.
Yeah, they still have freeze here. I believe they're going to try to hold it for overtime. They can just throw down the objective and force.
And there it goes. Yeah, freeze is out for overtime. We'll see if this is probably it for UMU here. We'll see if they can hold Grand Valley back.
Yeah, looks like Grand Valley's going to hold them not even halfway, I'd say, roughly, for first point. So they're going to have their work cut out for them. Grand Valley is going to... They're going to have to basically spawn camp Grand Valley if they want a chance at winning. Grand Valley with almost 2.5 minutes to push it, what, maybe 40, 50 meters?
30 meters, I think it is.
Yeah, so they only have to push it that little bit, so if you're UMU, you have no choice but to spawn camp. You can't afford to give them space like you normally can.
We'll see if UMU goes for the Sigma play again. I do feel like they held pretty well in the first point. Obviously, it works pretty well for Grand Valley there. You just have the Sigma on the high ground and just able to just hold there.
It looks like UMU is going to go with a little bit of a pokey mid-range comp. They're keeping the Sigma, but going back to Cassidy and Soldier, while Grand Valley is going back to their beloved Genji.
Yeah. Sticking with the Reaper, though. So obviously Reaper did work pretty well last time.
Oh, closer. We love you, Genji.
I wonder... So sticking with the Reaper, the Pirate Reaper.
Yeah, it's full skin. This used to be the pirate ship map where you'd have Sigma and Reinhardt or Orisa, and you'd have a Bastion, Torb, and you just sit on and shield the payload. It was awesome. Hello again, Genji. You got this.
I wish we saw some Torbjorn for defensive.
Yeah, we might see it in the future.
Both shields go out from the Sigmas there. Obviously, Sigmas do the same thing typically. Anti-healed Genji just having to back up there, almost down.
Yeah,
they might fall here unless they don't. They got the health pack.
Yeah.
Trying to get that Ana dead.
Yeah, get the supports in the back line. UMU, they're going to need those characters, especially when they only have to push that a little bit now. Grand Valley's like already there.
One hit. Just takes out the Genji after that.
Yeah.
But it just
I think that's it. I don't think UMU even has a chance to touch. They're going to coast right into a pretty quick victory on this last point.
It's tough from that. So the Genji just dove the back line and is unable to do much about it. And then the rest of the team obviously can just push from the front.
Yeah, so especially when Genji goes on those flanks and those supports, they can't heal the rest of their team because they're getting dough. That play of the game is going to be a fat high noon. It looks like it.
Very good combination that you have with the Cass and the Sigma ult. Obviously, because the Sigma ult just lifts them all up, and then they're just all in the open there, just standing still.
Yeah, one of my favorites is actually kind of the opposite of that, where you ult there, Cassidy, and then he high noons their team. Especially when Sigma came out, there was quite a few funny moments of people accidentally giving the enemy team a team kill because they raised them in the perfect position.
Mm-hmm. That is, I love to see Sigma gameplay on this because Sigma's one of my favorite characters to play on tank, and he's just a lot of fun to play. And then just watching him is always fun as well.
Yeah. Well, Grand Valley was able to take it. They did have to work a little bit more than the first game there. They had to go the whole distance, go into overtime on the extra innings there, but they're able to take it. So now Grand Valley is up 2-0. Only need one more map before they can possibly get a clean sweep yet again.
So we'll see if UMU, obviously their picks worked pretty well there for the beginning, but Grand Valley able just to adapt and just kind of take over there. So
Yeah, I feel like this is almost the first time we saw Grand Valley have to get off Genji. But I feel like that Reaper May comp worked pretty well, especially since they're able to hold them in an extra round, basically near spawn.
it's very impressive from the Genji on the very last play, obviously just diving straight into the back past everyone.
Mhm.
It worked pretty well, just keeping the cast and the Ana both busy, and just keeping them away from the rest of the team. Obviously, gave them that advantage just to push forward and get the win.
Yeah, I really like to see that Sigma swap we got from Grand Valley. I felt like their Ramatra just had every cooldown used on him, and he's kind of like a big punching bag, and I felt a
Yeah,
little bad for him. I felt like he was always getting slept, then anti, then pushed around every 2 seconds. So at least with Sigma, he can block some of those with his shield better, or absorb some of them with his kinetic grasp.
Ramacha's a tough character to play at times because obviously he does a lot of damage, but he is just a big target for all of that.
Yeah, he has like a very specific team comp you have to use with and against because he has a shield kind of like Sigma, but it's only a temporary one, and then
Mhm.
he goes from kind of like a mid-range poke into an up-close brawler. So you really have to be able to, merge those two play styles together. And if you want any value, sometimes you have to just sit there and take up damage with his arms, or you have to go and speed over their backline and get some kills. Otherwise, you just kind of sit there as Ramacha, just a big target, and then they just all shoot you and get their ult charge, and you lose.
Yeah, that was a very fun match to watch because, yeah, obviously Sigma, one of my favorites. Ramatra, also one of my favorite tanks. So it's a lot of fun. So we have an ad for casting actually. If you want to ever cast or get involved with the broadcast, you can watch it now. And
Yeah, enjoy, guys.
Hey Lakers, want to be involved with esports but don't know if you want to compete? Come broadcast with us. We provide an opportunity for you to showcase your passion, your talent, and how much you just love your favorite video games. Not sure what casting entails? Feel free to check out our past streams at GVSU Esports on YouTube. Never been in front of the camera before? That's okay. We're here to help you out. We'll be able to provide you with any of the initial casting training that you need. Have any questions? Reach out to me, Evan, or the production staff on Discord, and we'll help you out. We can't wait to work with you soon.
All right. Well, welcome back, Lakers. Saw that wonderful ad for casting. I gotta say, personally, a lot of fun. If any of you want to get into it yourself, even if you've never done it before, head over to the GVSU Discord. You can message some people, go on the broadcasting channel, and just ask around. And the more, the merrier.
yeah, I had no previous experience on like literally live streaming in general, like before this year
Mhm.
basically. So it was a lot of fun to just join in, and then there's a lot of games you can cast. So just see. So we have like Rocket League, Valorant, Rainbow Six
Six.
Siege, more Overwatch probably.
Yep. So yeah, or if there's a game that's not on there and you guys get a team for it, you can possibly look at doing that in the future as well. Those are some of the main games we have, but just feel free to drop a message and maybe see about scheduling. It's pretty nice to get into.
So
I believe
Alright.
hybrid is gonna be the next map. Speaking of more
Hmm.
games.
I genuinely, one of my favorite hybrid maps is Blizzard World.
Oh, that's
I'm
cool.
kind of a Blizzard World fan. Not even really just because of the map. I just think it's kind of silly that it's all Blizzard related things.
Yeah, it's fun. When it came out, they had like a little event with other Blizzard related IP and skins that they gave out, and it's cool too that sorry, there's the fly attacking me there for a
There's a
second.
fly.
Yeah, you can go out and see all the little Easter eggs. Like there's like the Heroes of the Storm arcade, which is another game they have.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Overwatch because it takes place in Overwatch. They don't have too many Overwatch Easter eggs, but they have all the other cool Blizzard games and Easter eggs. They have like a World of Warcraft section. Diablo's at the end. They have middle is like Hero of the Storms arcade, and they have all the different fun little trivia stuff.
I don't know
around.
too much about actually the other Blizzard games. I just think it's a funny kind of like, oh, I feel like I've seen that before in a different thing,
Yeah.
in a different media, and not in Overwatch.
Yeah, personally for me, the only other one that's on there I've played is Heroes of the Storm, which is a MOBA, kind of like League, but with like all Blizzard characters.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just fun vibes. It's like a festival. There's carnival rides everywhere. I've been to BlizzCon a few times, so it kind of is giving off that vibe a little bit. Not quite the same, But just seeing all the decoration stuff for all the games, it's just fun to be around.
Obviously, one of the next better hybrid maps I think is Kings Row. So I do really like Kings Row. Obviously, it's again kind of a silly map with just how many like narrow roads there are for it to go.
It's kind of designed for an older time. Is one of the very first maps in the game, and it's probably the still most fan beloved ones. I believe a funny metric they had is roughly the choke. One of the reasons why it's so tight is they roughly designed it to be like one Reinhardt shield length, so he can walk through exactly. And the Hanamura 2CP map that's been removed is also like roughly the same distance. They don't want it to be way bigger than that. So that's also one of the reasons why it's so tight. They don't do some of those considerations as much now because now they have like so many characters everywhere. But it's kind of a cool little trivia piece to see. So it's not quite, but it's almost 1-to-1. So they match up almost like they planned it.
Heard Torb is good on Kings Row. Obviously, you have to play Torb on Kings Row if you're on defense. So
yeah, I was playing Torb earlier. I was on that ranked solo queue grind and trying to get the Torb SR rank up.
Galactic Torb weapon. Is that what you're trying to go for?
No, I just wanted the high SR. But it looks like we're gonna hop right into the game.
Looks like we are on Kings Row, so we'll see what GVSU is playing here.
Maybe we'll get the Torb that we were just joking about. Love to see it.
We'll see. The fish on the GVSU team says, y'all aren't ready for what we're bringing out, so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, what are they cooking? It's a question of the night. I'm hoping to see some kind of creative play.
He's playing Lucio, obviously. He always does play Lucio.
Ooh.
But Widow, Junkrat, Roadhog, Lucio, and Kiriko, so we'll see. We'll see how UMU is kind of responding to it. UMU also running the Junkrat, but kind of sticking with the Ana and the Soldier, but just running the Orisa and the Wu Yang as well.
You know what? I'll give it to Grand Valley when they said you weren't ready for this. Not the comp I was expecting. Actually, they're switching to Reinhardt right as I say that. The caster curse, as always, strikes.
I don't think that the Widowmaker could see the observer there, but it kind of looked like they could.
Yeah.
Not sure about that.
Maybe they just have the fourth wall energy and they're just taking a lucky guess.
That is I think that's the Junkrat with the K-pop skin.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
The free one. I really was a big fan of that K-pop collab. I feel like it's one of their best ones they've done. Oh, Grand Valley, they get the Widow pick right at the start. That's amazing too.
Again with onto the Wu Yang.
Yeah.
Widow is probably the choice here for Grand Valley.
Yeah.
Landing a hit onto the Junkrat, but unable to get the kill.
Yeah, their Widow just hard carrying them this fight. They got 2 picks. They just have to go around the corner and go in. They basically had this fight delivered to them.
So Widow with another onto the Junkrat. Junkrat also landing one onto the Orisa as well. So
yeah.
Grand Valley just taking that fight there and just taking point.
Yeah, I'm expecting
some
switches from UMU that's going to boom their mental a little bit. They essentially just died to Widow. 3 out of 5 just died straight to headshots. Maybe they might go a little bit more shieldy, maybe a Sigma or Reinhardt themselves just to block the team. But I don't see any changes. They're going to try to
no changes yet.
run it back.
We'll try to get it back here to see if this works.
Yeah, I will say first point is stronger for Widow.
Shield broken and anti-healed. There's not much he could do there. Shield broken, anti-healed, and then stunned. That is... Or slept, I think. That was tough.
Yeah, they are going to pop the Widow sights here, see if they can maybe get some flank kills here. The Junkrat going into the back line.
Landing one onto the other Junkrat, but then goes down to the Soldier. Widow just trying to look for a peek here.
Plenty of time. They don't have to worry too much about rushing with how fast they got first one.
Orisa's out and lands 2 with the ult.
Yeah, they use Nano on the Orisa, so that Terror Surge really hurts combining those 2 ultimates.
GVSU swapping off of Ryan to see if they could get a diff onto the Orisa.
Grand Valley, sadly they're going to switch out the Widowmaker. They lost one fight. I feel like they could have run him back one more time. I really loved watching that Widow gameplay.
I just feel like Widow's probably not the best choice for this area that they're at right now.
Yeah, second point's a lot tighter, whereas first point she has so much more free room to rotate.
You see how this Junkrat, they're both just running Junkrat and just kind of lobbing grenades at each other.
Yeah, both of them are holding their tire. I want to see one of them go for a sneaky little flank tire, maybe draw some fire and get a pick.
This UMU Orisa is just causing problems for the GVSU Orisa. Just GVSU Orisa cannot push up without the Orisa, without the UMU Orisa taking them out.
Yeah, this choke here, rather difficult to poke through. They might have to wait for their tank to get back. So they're
Sojourn pushing up, but just surrounded by enemies.
yeah,
Not
a little
much
bit
they could do.
a little bit optimistic there from Sojourn. And they had some confidence that their team was all going to dive in there, but they get punched a little bit.
Junkrat going for a bit of a flank here.
And there's the tire. Let's see what they can get with it.
Going up, trying to go over the roof.
Over the roof. A sneaky tire, sneaky
unexpected.
tire. Oh,
There
it's
we go. It's
massive.
a
A 3K. Huge.
Over the roof. Never saw it coming.
Yeah, those are the best tires. You just stall over the roof, and they don't know. UMU, they're probably looking on the side flank because they could hear the tire coming. Never expect a tire to jump off the roof at them, and now they're going to get pushed all the way back.
Yeah, UMU is just rumbling here after that tire from Atri.
Grand Valor just emitting so much aura. The UMU just doesn't know what to do. They're going to get pushed back, and now they're already about to cap second point. UMU has to touch if they want to do anything, but I don't think they will. They're so far away.
UMU does have slight ult advantage here. Well, GVSU only has 4. Actually, well, they both have 4 now, actually.
Yeah, they did let them get that cap, though, so now Grand Valley only needs third point. They're going to get a decent time bank from second point, because while they were stuck there for a little bit, they were able to push all the way through after they got that Riptire kill.
UMU gets a javelin kill onto the, Orisa gets a javelin kill onto the Soldier. Soldier swapping off of Soldier to Sombra, trying to maybe get rid of some cooldowns.
Yeah, got a lot of ultimate going here. Beat goes, Tyra goes, gets 1 kill on Grand Valley. So Grand Valley's going to have to push back from that.
GVSU everyone popping about all their ults, so.
Yeah, they just want to wipe the board, start from neutral again. And they said, we don't want these ultimates. They're dirty.
GVSU with the Kiriko Rush, obviously very good to try and retake point here. Because obviously, UMU is now just doing their pushback, so keeping them away.
Yeah, Atri here is grabbing the high ground, see if he can get some picks on the side, or at least some pressure.
GVSU Rush does go out. GVSU, the Junkrat was out of the rush for the majority of the time, but I actually find Junkrat in a Kiriko Rush to be really powerful because he can just spam those grenades extremely fast.
And he's looking here on the side.
Just trying to find that Sombra, trying to land it.
Yeah, I can feel his tire. He's probably gonna maybe go up top here, maybe look for a sneaky tire. They're
chasing after the Sombra, just unable to catch him.
They're playing cat and mouse. They get slept though. Luckily, they're able to get out of there.
Almost down.
Yes.
Even throwing the trap, I think, to the right to try and get the Sombra. It's tough.
Oh, here comes the Riptire.
There it comes out. Is it another big play? Kind of is, yeah, with the kill on the support there, and then big damage to the Orisa, allowing the Sojourn to take out the Orisa.
And they're just gonna drop down now. Get it right to the end. They're gonna have to contest. Grand Valley's holding the objective.
Junkrat landing more onto the UMU team. Junkrat is a wild pick from Grand Valley, and I'm so happy we saw it happen.
Also, I saw you shooting that trap there. That was not the enemy team's trap. That was your team's trap. I saw them shoot that. They thought we wouldn't see it.
I saw it too. I was gonna say.
So it happens.
I always get confused if there's 2 Junkrats on a team.
Yeah,
I
was
say
they
shoot the trap.
Yeah, they have 2 Junkrats, and it doesn't have like a marker that says friendly. So
there's no way to tell that it's a friendly trap. So it is tough.
Yeah, I just wanna just get not take any risks there. I feel like that Junkrat probably secured play at the game. It's just with 3K.
With the 3K tire over the roof, yeah, definitely. I think that was a play that really accelerated GVSU there.
Yeah.
So that and the Widow in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were rather explosive with the Widow on first point too. I feel like, from my perspective, I think the 3K with the Widow's more impressive just because they're all headshots, but visually seeing the 3 people right next to each other was very fun with Junkrat.
Yeah.
If neither one of those gets play of the game, I feel like they're going to be robbed.
So it looks like UMU kind of running Widow as well, and Junkrat as well, just trying to maybe mirror what mirror what Grand Valley did on this first point, with exception of the Lucio.
Yeah, they're saying Grand Valley got 3 kills and Widow out of spawn. Well, let's see if we can run that. Surely, you know, it'll go the exact same way. What's the worst that can happen?
Junkrat just lobbing grenades over, unable to actually make any of them over that fence. Now they got the angle there.
Yeah, Grand Valley sees the Widow. They recognize the threat. They're going to have to play around this corner now. Otherwise, they might get their heads shaved clean off.
Ash just trying to hit the shots here. Just so many effects on the screen. Hard to aim, but Widow lands one on them.
Yeah. Let's see.
Javelin spins going out against each other.
There's going to be a repeat of last round where the Widow's going to take it away. I don't think so. I think Grand Valley is able to stabilize after they get that one pick. There's rotating back to point.
UMU Junkrat landed one onto the Grand Valley Junkrat. Hate to see a diff happen.
Yep, Grand Valley's they're going to have to go all the way back to the next choke. They could probably regroup and still touch here because I believe their team's here, but they're going to have to go in right now that Orisa's going to have to lead the charge. They're getting pushed back constantly.
Ash going down to the Wu Yang, just unable to get, and like, the health just went so fast, unable to like react in time.
Yeah, and Grand Valley, they're not even going to contest. They just had so much pressure. They felt like it was a death sentence to go through that choke, so they have to go all the way back up. And they're getting staggered now. They're just going to have to retreat and regroup.
Orisa just on UMU just being pocketed by that Wu Yang, just unable to go down. Obviously the wave is boosted healing as well, so it's just so difficult to out heal that.
Grand
It looks like
gonna have to anchor around this next corner. They gave away the choke, but you know it happens.
UMU just able to keep the pressure up on the Grand Valley here.
And rush from Grand Valley, see if they can go and get some kills.
Grand Valley swapping to Cass from who were they before? I don't remember.
Yeah, they're Ash.
Ash to Cass, both Cowboy related.
Yeah. I want to see another big tire here from Atri. I see they're holding it. I feel like they didn't really have the best opportunity last fight, so they didn't want to waste it.
Lucio just running back to point to just give everyone a speed boost.
Yep, call that in the business. We call that the taxi. Just have them run back to spawn and to speed everyone back.
But it also just gives UMU a lot of time just to push that payload. So
yeah. Grand Valley's going to have to look for some picks here. I want to see this tire rip right at the start and see Grand Valley put pressure on with it.
See though, because UMU is coming up on their tire as well. So we'll see if you get both tires out. It'd be fun if it happens at the same time.
Yeah,
Lucio beat is ready, so we'll see how that can play.
It looks like UMU likes to stack their ults on their Orisa. They either get them Nano or they get them the Wu Yang ult.
They tire position, probably just waiting for someone to jump up there and get trapped.
Yeah, Atri's getting nervous. I see they're looking for the escape. The 2 on their team died, so they're getting a little bit of second thoughts. It's going to be the Miracle tire.
2 there on UMU landing 2 there with that Sojourn. This is like prime tire location, but obviously the Junkrat cannot know what is going on down there.
Yeah, also they have to watch for Suzu because it could just get cleansed if they get at the right time.
We'll see if it can hit anyone. It hits the Wu Yang. Unfortunately, the UMU just the Junkrat missed their time there.
Yeah, so
Like
Valley's having the back foot.
UMU not focusing the cast here, but all just running around behind cover.
Grand Valley is finally going to get some trades here, which on defense you'll take trades because you get a faster spawn. But look at that time bank. UMU still has quite a bit of time for third point because they just bulldozed both point 1 and 2. So Grand Valley's going to have to put their the big boy pants on and bunker down here.
See how well that goes. Obviously, UMU has been doing an amazing job of just, like focusing on the tank. So we'll see how well that GVSU can keep this tank alive. Because obviously, without a tank, you start to be pushed back.
Yeah, I'd like to see Grand Valley. They almost have their beat here. I want to see if they can maybe save it for the Orisa ult because I feel like every time they use 2 ults on UMU's Orisa, so they might just need to save beat just so they don't get team wiped by it again.
See, GVSU does have their Orisa ult up. UCO beat is at 60%. Junkrat almost with this tire again. See how well this goes.
Yeah, they're able to
landing one on the other Orisa, just trying to keep them back from pushing that point. Their time is just running down. We'll see if they can get to point and actually escort it all the way before the end.
Yeah, even if they get it to the end, if it's in overtime, they can only draw in best case scenario. So Grand Valley, a good job here. Like I said, they might just try to run out the clock even if they lose. But they don't want to lose. They want to win. They want to take the W right here, right now. So they're saving these ults. I think they're expecting a big ultimate epic anime battles where they all dump all their ults in one big fight. Speaking of anime, here we go. Doing double ults on the Orisa again, the Kiri rush, everything you can think of and more.
You just alt dumping there just to try to land one with it. The Junkrat
Oh
almost
no!
falls off the
Oh
map,
no,
but then
Atri!
goes down.
No! It looked like he went to concussion mine up to that window that he likes to go for the tire, but he missed it.
He
No.
almost fell off the map there.
Yeah, he tried to change it because he realized he wouldn't make it, so he tried to uncommit midway through. But now they're gonna have their ultimates in spawn. They're gonna have to touch. Luckily they have beat, so this Orisa can be able to hold them, and that's exactly what they're gonna do.
There's a landing, not getting anyone with the ult, but it allows the Sojourn and Kiriko to land one onto the Junkrat cast. And now the Orisa, so UMU was able to push up a little bit there, but just unable to get there before GVSU spawns all the way back.
Grand Valley, mere inches from disaster. It felt like they're able to scramble or the last second with their ultimates. Still holding on to tire though, Atri. They're looking for another big 3K. Can we get one?
Just sitting up there, just kind of in that little spot up there, just kind of launching grenades down.
Yeah,
trying to get anything.
Yeah, it's kind of a good spot behind the barrels. It's kind of hard to see. Looking to get the tire and just drop it right on the enemy team without them knowing at all. But Grand Valley already gets two. Sojourn pops their ult, putting so much pressure.
I don't think they do much with it though. Just use a little bit of damage and just kind of push them back.
Yeah, I'm surprised UMU decided to use their tire, but they got a kill in their cast. Got another one as well. So now they're switching these tides.
So UMU with man advantage here. GVSU just has to hold a bit. Junkrat goes down. Focus fires there. UMU just pushing up.
Yeah,
Valley is struggling to get
Castle,
there.
there's so much pressure for this Orisa.
UMU cast lands one onto the Sojourn.
Yeah, they won't be able to contest.
Unable to get back there.
Yeah, we're going to be going to extra rounds yet again. This series might not be over.
Though Grand Valley does have like a minute more time. So we'll see if that can make a large enough difference.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like almost every time UMU, they like to really stack their Orisa. They would put one of the support ultimates to... I never really thought of that Wu Yang one for the knockdown.
It is very... So if you time the Wu Yang one right with your Terra Surge, obviously it stuns all of them in that one area, and it's just kind of free from that.
Yeah, they're just stuck in the damage. You saw them use that in a previous round with Ana, which is also good because then you can just get the threshold to get the elimination much faster and the damage resistance. But that knockback is so crucial because the Orisa can just charge up all that damage and just go for a team wipe. I feel like there's not many things Grand Valley can do besides run away when they see that because, you know, she gets the extra damage resistance and the Orisa just runs it down and goes for a big group hug and they just have to run away for 5 seconds.
It's tough to get away from that because the Wu Yang also increases the speed, if I remember correctly. So obviously it's so difficult to outrun.
Grand Valley, they might have to either get a good Suzu timed in to cleanse it, or they might have to save speed boost from Lucio for it, but it's difficult when they combo the ults like that.
UMU swapping to Mercy Pharah, so they might just be trying to get to point here. Or just like deal a bunch of damage from above.
Yeah,
obviously working, getting over the Orisa shield, just obviously tough to shoot at them when they're just flying all over.
Yeah, they know Grand Valley's on the Junkrat, so they're going to have at least a few people that won't be able to get the pharmacy. They're trying to exploit that comp difference they have.
The only one that can really land on the, I'd say on the Far Mercy is the Sojourn and the Kiriko. Which even then, Kiriko's kind of tough because it's still a projectile, I think.
Yeah, at least Grand Valley, they'll... there's two things with Far Mercy if you want to get the team fight when you have to just immediately kill them.
At the Junkrat trap on the ground. We did see that.
Yep, it happens, you know, sometimes you can't tell which one is which, and they still both have Junkrat. Grand Valley, they might just have to ignore this Far because they don't have a lot of good counters, so they might just have to kill the team around them.
So just able to soak up so much damage there and just pushing Grand Valley off point.
Now it's going to be in overtime now. Grand Valley
Suzu comes out a bit early there on the UMU. Orisa's just such low health and unable to survive.
Yeah, it looks like they won't be able to get the touch. So that means they are going to get the full hold. So now Grand Valley only has to get, I believe, a single tick.
Think so, yeah. And they have 2 minutes to do it, so they have more time than UMU had.
Yeah, UMU is just going to have to sit on point.
We'll see how well this, if Grand Valley will make any changes to their composition, because I feel like they've been playing very well with their current one. Obviously, their first attacking phase, they kind of bulldozed. Both teams actually bulldozed through that first capture. So
yeah, let's see if Grand Valley can do it again. Do we think they're going to try to run the Widow back again?
it looks like they might be trying it.
Oh, it's risky, but you know what? As a spectator, not a player, I love to see it.
Love to see it. Obviously, UMU has to do something about the Widowmaker there. Doesn't look like they have much they can do about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of range. Junkrat is not a super long range character necessarily. Cass is also close to medium range. Kiri, if you didn't know, does have a few tricks. The voice line will let you know.
That is the Street Fighter collab skin, which is actually going on. The Fighting Game Club is actually going on right now.
Oh, so yeah. Good collaboration. Oh, I admire the voice line spam. It's the default Kiri one, so you hear it quite a bit.
So obviously the Widow just trying to probably do the same thing again. We'll see how well that goes though. Wu Yang just already anticipating that, sending the orbs up there.
Yeah, they're trying to pressure out the Widow, constantly shoot them just so they can't get a free shot. But they're going to go out anyways, and they're going to go to the firing range.
We'll see how well that goes on him. Cass landing one onto A-Tree, taking him out of the sky, it looked like.
Yeah, a lot of pressure here for Widowmaker.
Widow goes down there, gets hit by the Orisa Javelin, I think. Just gets kind of vaporized.
Grand Valley already down too. They're just gonna have to pull back. This is starting to look a little scary. They only have a couple fights here they can work with.
UMU just holding here, instantly taking out the Orisa shield. But Orisa shield obviously just recharges so fast. Oh, that's a shield placement if I've ever seen one.
Yep. Oh, and UMU is getting more picks. It's that Cass especially just getting kill after kill.
Cass is just landing them. It seems like GVSU just kind of scattered here, unable to kind of push up in one unit.
And now Grand Valley, they get off the Widowmaker. They said it's not working. They're not getting their lucky picks. So they go back to Sojourn. Less than 1 minute remaining. They most likely just have this fight if it's a staggered fight. They have to make something happen.
See if, yeah, I think this will be it if they don't win this fight. And they don't get one pick at least.
Yeah, Russell's going to assert herself on point
30
here.
seconds left. They have to get up there. Lucio can obviously stall for a bit with his speed. Cass almost going down to the Junkrat. Junkrat just chasing him down.
Atreus was trying to get that Cass, but they're just barely avoiding them. They have someone trapped on point.
UMU Kiriko rush goes out on point. Obviously, that's just difficult to push into if you're Grand Valley.
Yeah, they're going to be coming into overtime, but that's
UMU
three
just
immediately down.
landing so many onto GVSU. Really just the Sojourn left alive there and the Junkrat who both go down.
Yep.
And that is it for this one. Seems to be a draw, right?
Yeah, so I guess we're going to... Yeah, I believe for NECC, I'm just assuming, because I don't think we've had a draw so far, I'm assuming that means they're just going to play another round.
It is probably going to be the Widowmaker 3K.
Oh, let's see.
Play of the game. Which is kind of sad that it isn't Junkrat, but it was pretty impressive to see this.
Oh, you know what? The Junkrat play was cool, but this one just really nice and satisfying to look at. Look at that.
It was only the two. They couldn't get into the third.
Yeah, it was a little bit spread out there, so, but we know in our hearts they got a 3K. So
that was a very fun match to watch. I did like that. It was very competitive as well. Both teams kind of running similar compositions until the very end there, basically. And then it was just a very action-packed fight.
Yeah, I like the adaptation there from UMU at the end, getting the follower, especially when they know that they're running Junkrat a lot. They know that they don't have a lot of good ranged options to take care of that pharmacy.
They just didn't have enough time, I feel like, to actually get that point.
Yeah, if you have a comp like that, in normal play, you lose one fight and you make a switch, but when you have 1 minute and you're on defense, you can't run back to spawn and switch, or if you die, you have to hold point or you lose. So unfortunately, this kind of looked down and they had to kind of take it.
That was the Atri. Your rat gameplay was very, very impressive, especially the 3K tire. We were all very, very excited to see that.
And
That
don't worry,
was-
we were spectating the tire at the exact right moment. Shout out to the observers; they had the perfect coverage of that moment. It was pretty juicy.
I didn't really know you could go over that roof like that.
Yeah, I did. It's a little bit classic. Sometimes you'll see for some followers they'll barrage over there because it's a really nice blind spot to just kind of go over and dive upon them.
I used to play a bit more Junkrat, like a while ago, but it's just like I struggle with actually like landing any of like the grenades. I just kind of shoot them over just things and just see what happens. So
Yeah, it's kind of fun for aerial denial. You can just kind of spam them in an area, and then it's difficult for the enemy team to go into. I feel like he's always rather fun to play. You know, he's not always the best, but he just feels fun. You just kind of
you kind of just lob,
put them in over and over, and hope for the best.
It's a lot of fun. I wonder what map they're gonna go to next, or what.
Oh yeah, I wonder if it will be
if it will be an escort, because we already had escort. It might be push.
Yeah, it might be push, or it might be
We'll see.
probably not Clash, since I think we talked about earlier that it's not in that series as far as I know.
I think it's probably gonna be. It's either gonna be Flashpoint or escort, but I feel like it might be escort, or not push. I mean, not escort. We've already had an escort.
We got you. That'd be a great way to tie break. Do you have any favorite push maps?
Push maps. I'm not a huge fan of push, but I guess New Queen Street is a pretty fun one.
Yeah,
I feel like push is always just so difficult, especially a lot of the characters I play. I feel like don't have a ton of mobility, so it's always tough when like your point is like right near the forward spawn and you die, and it's like, oh, have to walk across the entire map.
Yeah, I find New Queen Street is probably my favorite as well. I feel like Coliseum, people really hated it at the start because when Overwatch 2 came out, they had like an artificial amount since it was the new mode that it happened really often. So I feel like 1 in 3 games of Coliseum. So I felt like people really got burnt out. But now I don't mind it. Now I think it's a decent map. You know, now that we get it the correct amount of time.
I'm not a huge fan of Coliseum. It's just that's one of the reasons I like New Queen Street, is because it kind of zigzags. So it's a lot more fun because you can push through like the sides and everything through the alleyways and stuff. Yeah. Well, Coliseum is just kind of one long alley. It's just a long push.
Yeah, I feel like it's really good for snipers, which I don't always want to play against a really good Widowmaker. So I do appreciate on Queen Street that you can have a lot more close range engagements. It feels like they do on Coliseum. They do have like some of those side angles you can go to, but they're still usually really long sight lines.
I do think that.
All right. So I believe we're going to have a quick PSA coming here about the broadcasting schedule. So we're going to pop that up here in just a second, and we'll see you guys after the break.
What's up, Lakers? We're coming at you with a new year of broadcasts with uploads Monday through Friday. This is a student-led initiative, so be sure to give us your recommendations in our Discord channel. Let's get into the schedule. On Monday, we're going to be having the Lakerland podcast hosted by your director, Evan Dean, and Ben Robar. We're going to give you different updates throughout the week on this podcast, so be sure to check it out every single Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to be hosting Challenge Day, where we're going to post a challenge every single week that you guys should attempt and send your clips to the broadcast channel. We'll compile them into a little video and shoot them out on Tuesdays. Wednesdays are our big streaming day. We're going to be streaming live all of our NECC competitions, so be sure to come out and support your Lakers. Thursday, we're going to be uploading a pre-recorded video featuring our community. We're going to be showing some open house competitions or some community events. Friday will be another live streaming day. We're going to be live streaming more NECC competitions or open house events. So come out and hang out with us on Friday. Our broadcasts are all about showing off our members and community. Whether you're a casual or competitive gamer, come on and join us at our YouTube channel at GVSU Esports. We'll see you there.
All right, welcome back, Lakers.
So we yesterday there was a video that came out. It was the gaming together video on the GVSU Esports YouTube channel. If you want to see the team that puts things together like this, it kind of meets the broadcast team. So obviously they put together most of I think all the videos on the YouTube channel, as well as put these streams up. So big thanks to them. and I'd watch that video to get to know them better.
They put a lot of hard work into the production, so make sure to give them some positive comments. Check it up, get that view number up there. Hit subscribe if you haven't, especially if you're a Laker. A good way to keep in touch with the community.
So going on to Game 4 on this
it's gonna be
match.
It's gonna be pushed. So we will have Esperanza as the selected map. So we are finally going to get it for real this time. We thought it was going to be earlier in the series, but it's going to be right now.
I forgot to mention that. I forgot that was a push map, but that is a very fun push map. And I do find that one a lot of fun.
Yeah, I always forget it. I feel like, at least for the 3 ones that came out, I feel like I always forget about Esperanza. It's not bad, but I always think of Coliseo, and I always think of New Queen Street, and then Esperanza, like, oh yeah, it exists.
I
it's
think
fun.
those two are both kind of the most common ones. New Queen Street and Coliseo are both the most common ones.
Yeah,
I'm getting Hog gameplay in the chat. I think one of them played Hog in like the very beginning, and on what is it? Why am I blanking here? Oh, King's Row.
Oh yeah.
But then they immediately swapped off to like Reinhardt, and then they swapped to Orisa after.
Decided Roadhog is not it tonight. Maybe we'll see some on this last map.
Obviously, Roadhog is pretty powerful. Pretty powerful and pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping maybe we'll see some Tracer or Avenger. I feel like Esperanza is pretty solid maps for those two.
Yeah, Tracer is pretty fun on Esperanza. It's always fun to zip around and get the flanks. But
yeah.
See,
Wonder if
Atri will play Torbjorn. I'm very excited to see if they play Torbjorn or not.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Now is the moment.
Now is the moment to play Torbjorn. I wonder if you could. I'm actually curious about this. I wonder if you could somehow get your turret on top of the barrier that the robot pushes. I haven't tried that before.
I don't think you can, but I wonder if you can when you get the Tor perk that lets you stick to walls. I wonder if it works in, because I've never tried that.
I've tried to put like an Illari healing pylon on the barricade, but it just never worked.
Yeah.
I think if you put it on the front, it might work, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think for the bot, so I think how most things with Overwatch go, if you have to put it on the top of something, which it doesn't work for the robot, but for the payload, you can put stuff on payload. But if anything's in front of it, it just instantly breaks. So I feel like it might be the situation to where it thinks that it's being pushed again, so it might just break it. But I've experimented. There's a fun series on YouTube by CarQ called like Overwatch Mythbusters. Maybe they should try that on. They just try a bunch of random niche interactions like that people will submit.
I think this is the time for GVSU to try out some strategies like that. Obviously, they're basically 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
So this is the time to try out some silly strategies to see if they work.
I would like to see them bust out the Torbjorn, but go full committed to it. Go for the hammer build with a 20% speed, and then speed boost the Lucio and just run in the back line and see if you can get some hammer kills. I think that'd be rather funny.
One of my favorite things to do on Torbjorn is to go for the hammer kills. Obviously, one thing that I love to do is if the other team has a Doomfist, I love going Torbjorn and just trying to get the hammer kill onto the Doomfist, because obviously I have to prove that Torbjorn is the melee DPS, and we don't need a melee DPS.
Yeah,
we already have Torbjorn.
It never makes sense damage-wise to go for the hammer kill, but it's just about the statement. It's like, yeah, I switched to my secondary, I switched to terrible close range weapon, and I still got the kill with it, and I go for it all the time too, because I know it's about sending the message.
It's always so fun to go for a Torb hammer kill. I try to get one at least a couple times per game if I'm playing Torbjorn. So.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, too, you reach a moment where someone's 1 HP and you have to reload, and, sometimes it's not too bad to just try to go for the hammer kill.
Especially with Torbjorn, he has that ability that basically just gives him 400 health, which is extremely powerful, and then it boosts his speed as well.
Yeah, and there's also the hammer time perk where he gets 20% speed. I think I always take that perk even if I don't go for hammer kills, because if you die, you just always get back to the fight faster.
Exactly. Yeah, you activate right out of spawn. You can activate your overload and take out the hammer, and you can just go so far and so fast.
Yeah, you just get back to the fight way better, and I feel like that's what we need. We need more Torb.
We need more Torbjorn. You can get back to the fights faster.
Yes.
Atri said no.
Atri said no, but we're still going to implore you to consider it. You guys You still have some time, or maybe simmer on it and, consider your options for maybe another week if it doesn't do it tonight. Torb isn't going anywhere.
He is staying in the game.
Yeah, I hope so, at least. Unless they every now and then they'll have like a critical glitch, then they remove a hero from from the game for like 2 or 3 days. So unless it's
That
one of
happened
those.
to Wrecking Ball not too long ago. I think it was a couple weeks maybe. It was because he
Yeah.
was just like removed from the list. I'm just seeing it, and I was like, huh, the tank heroes are like it's a bit smaller than usual.
Yeah,
I didn't notice really anything because I don't play Wrecking Ball.
Yeah,
so.
normally I don't like playing into Wrecking Ball, so I usually vote for him to get banned in comp. So that was nice. It's like I just get a free extra ban slot.
Yeah.
So that I just don't have to worry about Wrecking Ball. So that was awesome. You know, sucks for ball players, but not I.
So.
So for me, I don't mind playing Wrecking Ball as much as just going against him because I feel like when he's in ball mode, you can't headshot him, and he has so much mobility. He can pop shields and gets like 1,000 HP. So for most characters in the game, unless you just stun him, unless you have a CC, you can't headshot him. So he just like survives in your backline, and you can't kill him and do anything about it.
A lot of the characters I play are very diveable typically, so it's always a struggle to play against a Wrecking Ball, but it's always fun to actually just like beat them.
Yeah,
when I'm there.
I usually like going against ball if I'm playing DPS because those are usually where the best ball counters are. You can get like Samba, Tracer, or Torb against ball. But it's kind of annoying as tank for me because you just kind of push the ball around. If they keep diving your backline, you can go ball yourself or you can risk a spear. But sometimes the ball does so much damage and the enemy team is still shooting them.
Yeah.
So
it
feels like you can't save them sometimes.
I feel like I typically am able to get out of a Wrecking Ball or like take him out on like a Bastion or something because it's like Bastion just deals so much damage in his tank mode that it's just Wrecking Ball can't do much about it.
Yeah, sometimes a good Doomfist can also just punch
Hit him into
punch
a
out
wall.
of it, or Orisa can spear, but it just feels like you have to constantly babysit your team. Like you face forward and you face around to look for the enemy team, and you go back and forth, and I usually feel pretty good about most of the tanks, but speaking of tanks, you're going to run back into the game now.
Looks like yes, you run in Junker Queen, Alari and Brig, along with the Genji and Sojourn. So we'll see how well that goes. UMU sticking with the Junkrat.
Yeah, they may not have Tor, but they like Junkrat tonight. They're feeling him.
Swapping GVSU swapping from Sojourn to Soldier. Both kind of similar characters in their own regard.
Yeah, they really like medium range hit scans.
So
I'm excited to see Junker Queen. I don't think we've had her on tonight, so I'm excited to see Grand Valley. Might feel a little bit bad playing into the Orisa because of the brick wall and the killer fun, but maybe they have a chance.
they fish playing something other than Lucio for a change.
Yeah. They're free. They're no longer in Lucio jail. Maybe they were banned. Maybe that's why. But who knows?
We don't see a Lucio on the UMU's team either.
Yeah. So maybe they were banned, or maybe they just had a gentleman's agreement that said, "Hey guys, we're just tired of being stuck at playing Lucio. Can we just not play him?" And they said yes.
UMU Orisa is just a force to be reckoned with. Usually, it seems to be landing picks onto. They landed a pick onto DBSU there, but unable to get another.
Yeah, just kind of going back and forth for this first point. Atreus in the back line trying to get some kills.
Trying to get one onto that Junkrat there, but kind of stolen by the soldier.
Yeah, always dancing around this payload. They had 5 HP. They just need a mere crumb of healing. But
Soldier just in the back trying to. Kiriko teleports away, then dies to the Wu Yang wave.
yeah, you don't see that every day. Now Grand Valley's gonna take this win and start pushing the objective here. Yeah, most likely won't get another draw on this map. It's almost impossible to draw on this unless they usually just stop exactly on the checkpoint. So
I've done it before. It does.
yeah, it's happened.
Does happen.
I've happened maybe once or twice, but I feel like way less likely than hybrid.
Yeah, it's a lot more rare to draw on this. Seed, UMU is just kind of trying to maybe push around. They're just not really trying to contest point though. Grand Valley hitting the forward spawn.
Yeah, Atreus being a little bit aggressive there on the side, trying to draw some attention, but they're just kind of poking from high ground. They have to drop down and contest. They just gave Grand Valley a checkpoint for free.
Not noticing the Genji just in there.
Yeah, we got a Curie ult popped in the back line.
Just UMU is just paying no attention to Atreon Genji here. He's just able to poke to his heart's content. Blade comes out. Almost dead. 1 HP.
1 HP.
Goes down to the Sojourn. Notice him as soon as he takes out his ult. We have contesting Wu Yang ults going off. Both of them just stunning at each other.
Yeah. Another
Soldier goes down there to the Sojourn. That's a play. The Sojourn with the Orisa ult. You can just throw your I don't know what it's called. I don't play Sojourn too much, but it's the orb, the damage.
yeah, the Disruptor Orb,
yes,
I believe it's called.
That is what it's called.
Yeah, they had the epic anime battle between the Wu Yings as well, both glowing, channeling their chakra, trying to, overpower the enemy, but it's going to benefit UMU more. Grand Valley used a bunch of ults. They're going to wish they kept at least a couple of them.
Yeah, Genji unable to get one with his blade, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, he immediately got concussion mined and pushed away, and then everyone looked at him and then stuck there with 1 HP.
That whole time of them just paying no attention to him, and as soon as he ults.
UMU still has overclock from Sojourn. They're going to look to maybe if they can get some poke on Grand Valley, but they're holding
up on Pyre. GVSU also coming up on the Junker Queen ult. That is a very powerful ultimate when used just against the entire team, basically.
And Grand Valley, they have this Rampage from their Junker Queen, but they feel like they don't need this fight, so they're just going to save it and look for next point. They're probably getting rolled straight over to the checkpoint and go back to making more progress here without any contests.
UMU just unable to hold there. Obviously, GVSU just pushing forward, getting that forward spawn. Gonna make it a lot easier for them to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, the big important thing that they have here is they keep getting the checkpoint. So since they keep triggering that forward spawn, they're maintaining the momentum even when they lose a fight. UMU, they need to hit the checkpoint once, otherwise they're going to be always on the back foot.
UMU is looking like they're just trying to keep some, kind of just stay away from this Junker Queen. Obviously, the Junker Queen ult, triggering the anti-heal and just the damage over time is tough to do anything about. So
they're waiting out the Kiri rush because they know they can't win if they push in that. So they're giving a little bit of space. I think they're watching for the Suzu plant so they can go in.
That is a perfect time for a Junker Queen ult, and I think I could see him try it there.
Oh, the Riptire, they ran it down main, but they just shot it, unfortunately, so it did nothing. Junker Queen, she's still looking. I can see it in her eyes. She's fiending for it. She wants this ultimate.
They had a really good spot, but they got stunned by the Orisa Javelin, which is always tough.
Yeah, the Orisa gets bailed out by the Wu Yang ult, and now they're going to Terror Surge on top of that and get some impact with that. This Junker Queen has been sitting here this entire time, though. They have to do something about her at some point.
Being healed that entire time, we're very low at some points.
Yeah, there's
unable to go down.
Yeah, unkillable Junker Queen, they call her.
Both Wu Yangs just kind of curve their orbs around around it there.
There we go. The Junker Queen goes in with her ult.
Doesn't look like it hit anyone with the anti-heal though. It was kind of just at that point, kind of just mobility just to close that gap.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was a zoning one, or it's about sending the message.
It does work because UMU is kind of stuck in their spawn here. UMU swaps to the Sigma. We've seen them play it before. It obviously works.
Yeah, they're right at the spawn though. UMU, they have to make some plays. They still have Sojourn overclock. Adrian's going to go on the flank looking for the Hero Blade. Can he go for it?
Is going off. Well, the obviously Alari ult is also off, like triggering those chain reactions.
Yeah, they only have to get a couple cleanup kills here. Sigma's down. I think that's it from UMU.
That is a team kill from GVSU.
Atri touches the spawn door for good luck.
There's the Bastion just walking up there.
Wow, that's going to be a rather speedy completion from Grand Valley. The first 3 points looked rather close, but this last game, they just blitzed right through them.
Obviously, there were some times where UMU was obviously kind of holding their own there, which was pretty impressive. That the Orisa gameplay was very, very good from UMU. Just able to hold those locations down.
Yeah, Grand Valley, you know what? They were on the back foot for a little bit, but they made a major turnaround.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that UMU ever really got their hands too much on the robot. They didn't push very far because Grand Valley was just always there. They were just. I think they struggled. UMU kind of struggled to take out Grand Valley all at once. So obviously Grand Valley just had a constant stream of people kind of
I felt like
able to contest.
UMU also for the first checkpoint, I felt like they gave it to them because they were on high ground, which is really good for not dying, but not very good for contesting the payload.
Yeah.
So they just kept pushing until they got checkpoint, and then they weren't even on the ground. They were just trying to get picks from range.
Yeah, I was noticing that they couldn't really get up there. Atri says they almost went negative that one. It didn't look like you did, but
yeah. No, we're just gonna say you know, it looked a lot better from spectator. We weren't looking at the score though, so
There's-
don't worry about that.
That one, your first blade did have some issues though. I mean, I get what you were going at. They paid zero attention like to you until you hit your ult. So
Yeah, we saw the
that's tough.
vision.
That's tough.
Yeah,
But
that's rough, buddy.
um,
All right. Well,
that ends it for GVSU White taking the win against UMU on this event here.
yeah. Some would say a dirty 3-0, not a clean one. They had a draw in there, so the score's a little misleading, but still able to get that 3-0 in the end.
Obviously, UMU was a pretty good competition there. They obviously held their own at certain points in the thing, but just unable to hold up to Grand Valley.
Ooh, guys, make sure to watch out. There's a new Laker lineup. This special guest on Monday, so keep an eye out for that. The next stream is going to be Wednesday. Do we know who's playing on Wednesday?
I do not know.
Oh, to be it's going to be to be determined. So we'll have a live stream on Wednesday, so let's keep an eye out for that.
So
All
have
right.
a good day, and hope to see you next time.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.